9 out of 10 Crystal Skulls agree. Click like and subscribe to the Heavy Underground. Ooh, that one skull, let me tell you. Hailing from San Jose, California, resurrected stoner heroes Sleep concluded an outstanding 2018 with an end-of-year trek across the United States, releasing a new album on 4/20 of this year, April 20th. To the uninitiated, The Sciences was a critically acclaimed return from the long-dormant stoner legends. Taking a victory lap to close out the year, the band embarked on a short 12-date run throughout December, culminating the year with a 3-night stand at the Great American Music Hall in San Francisco, California, to ring in the new year. Prior to the end-of-year festivities, however, the band made a return to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania on December 8, 2018. Overtaking Stage AE for a night of stoned grooves and distortion, Sleep is joined on this portion of the tour by the one-man sonic force known as Weather Warlock, a sonic symbiosis between man, machine, and the ambient atmosphere. Arriving 45 minutes early was a wise decision, as the line outside of Stage AE only got longer and longer in the cold Riverside December air. Once inside, the merch line was no different. Within 15 minutes, the line stretched clear across the venue. Posters, t-shirts, grinders, and assorted paraphernalia, patches, stickers, and tote bags were just a sampling of the wares on offer. Proving just as important as tuning the instruments, the fog machine needed at least 15 to 20 minutes to envelop the stage in a dense, machine-made haze before the first rumblings of Weather Warlock's sonic maelstrom began to emanate from the stage. Weather Warlock presents an interesting collaborative proposition between man, machine, and the world that surrounds. The human component is a New Orleans musician named Quintron, who engineered a machine that converts atmospheric phenomena into sound through the use of synthesizers and oscillators. With half of the equipment located outside, Quintron manipulates the noise created by these environmental variables, measuring temperature, wind speed, ultraviolet light, atmospheric pressure, and other factors. Weather Warlock sculpts a unique and droning improvisational set drawn from the outside conditions. Beginning with a brief primer on the workings of the Weather Warlock, temperature takes a bow first before moving on to wind. Moving through a series of tonal manipulations, Quintron gives a taste of what each variable sounds like through the equipment before he begins to layer the disparate sonic emanations into a cohesive whole. Crafting a growing storm from the seemingly banal sounds, Quintron soon adds ultraviolet into the mix, creating an urgent tapping refrain within the growing tempest as Floydian washes give way to wind-swept aeries of desolate gusts and frigid thoughts. Sculpting a series of rhythmic taps, tones, and droning intonations into bellowing fronts, Weather Warlock communicates like a sentient weather system on some alien planet, pulsing with patterns of otherworldly swells, ominous, unyielding, and forcefully comforting. Leaving the stage with a continuous drone pouring from the speakers, Weather Warlock's human operator Quintron takes a brief leave before returning from the midst of the crowd, extravagantly dressed in an over-the-top outfit resembling either a bedraggled yeti or some mutated mop monster from a trauma film. Adding distorted abrasion and feedback-laced edge of an electric guitar, Yeti Quintron works in a wash of strained guitar abrasion before returning to his dialogue with Weather Warlock itself. Evoking a serene creekside atmosphere, Weather Warlock's atmospheric influences drift lazily through the air before a foreboding drone rises to prominence, unsettled and uneasy. The final minutes begin to disentwine as disjointed pops offer an off-kilter rhythmic discharge as Quintron begins to disentangle Weather Warlock's aural web. Guitar returns to evince a final scraping call before fading into the slowing auditory profusion as Weather Warlock lets loose a whistling siren into the cold December night to end the show. 39 minutes of extemporaneous drone from a man and his atmosphere-sensing machine. Weather Warlock holds the crowd in rapt attention throughout the evocative duration, crafting improvisational washes of auditory outflow from the outdoor weather phenomena. Weather Warlock's human component Quintron translates this external dialogue through reverberating analog synth and surging oscillation. Soaring to wind-kept heights and plunging to disquieting depths, Weather Warlock gives voice to the living world around us, providing a mood-enhancing addition to the night's altered state. Creeping synth fills the room between bands as the crowd prepares for the ritual to follow. With an epic interplanetary introduction, the stoner exemplars themselves sleep touchdown in Pittsburgh, heralded by the trance-inducing bass and dulcet intonations of Al Cisneros, Jason Reeder's tribal-thumping drums, and the magma-soaked guitar of Matt Pike. This mighty band returns to proclaim the majesty of the sciences, the first album from these iconic legends in 20 years. Perfectly illustrating the lofty stoner heights of the legendary Sleep, the penultimate moments of the Apollo 11 lunar mission play through the PA for a full 14 minutes before the band surmount the stage. Acting as an epic intro for the legendary Stoner Doom masters, the final moments of the moon landing give way to a cascade of insistent drums, rolling bass, and thick distortion, as recently unfurled single Leagues Beneath crushes the audience under fathoms of atmospherically obliterating stoner doom depth. A tidally cycling, droning wave hounds the audience with a slowly rhythmic back and forth. With a subtle build swelling around him, Al Cisneros' soothingly gruff vocals eventually emerge, bearing the slightest hint of a lackadaisical sneer. Matt Pike, known for his tempestuous solo abilities in his own band High on Fire, allows his guitar to support the power of the band's stoned groove with a steady rhythmic hand and well-placed solo expeditions. While considerably less frequent than in High on Fire, Brother Pike's six-string solos are no less powerful and assertive as he lends a mind-rending solo to Leagues Beneath's second half. As the song drifts off into the now marijuana-laced fog and haze, mournful guitar sweeps mark the final minutes of the song as Leagues Beneath treks an epic stoner jam, ending in a psyched-out drawdown that leaves no quarter left to spare. Slowly roiling together into one cavernous vortex of slowly churned riffs and dense hypnotic collusion, a rumble of recognition crosses over the crowd as the band lumbers to a sludge-addled lurch to open the ultra-epic album-spanning track Dope Smoker. Pike's guitar stifles the air with a Leviathan's heft to open the song before Cisneros' gargantuan bass and the beatified drumming of Jason Reeder join together in booming unison. Set to a resin-scraping pace, Dope Smoker slowly overtakes the consciousness of the assembled faithful, scraping forward at an unhurried pace. Emerging after a 9-minute growing swarm of glacial riff work, Cisneros' voice joins in the gravel-throated accord with the viscous sonic harangue of Dope Smoker. Leading the crowd on a 22-minute trek through this vaunted stoner saga, Sleep wrench an epic sonic journey from this legendary song. A sprawling solo from Matt Pike highlights the final third before a slow-walking finish finds Al delivering his final intonations through an enveloping aural haze. Holy Mountain slides from the stage next. Dedicated to the Tree of Life Synagogue, a Sly Doom propulsion carries this song from the 1992 album of the same name. Engaging the gathered crowd in a hypnotic ritual of cycling riffs and enveloping bass, Holy Mountain soon shifts into an even slower and lower gear. The Holy Stone Trinity, Cisneros, Pike, and Reeder, grind Holy Mountain into a thick pile of minced nugs and keef. A down-and-dirty blues-inflected rumble slowly slinks through the venue as Holy Mountain rises for one last primitive crawl before transmuting into the glacially paced sojourn of the Clarity. Ending with a heightened stridency, Holy Mountain elicits a strong reaction from the audience. Opening with a squalling, repetitive intro blaring from the stage, the Clarity makes an auspicious entrance before our stone triumvirate resumes their molten distortion and an oozing pace. Cisneros' voice takes an early point of prominence as he guides the song through an all-encompassing atmospheric crawl. A nefarious bass rumble rises to prominence before churning back into the molten eddy. Circling riffs collide while Matt Pike powers into a solo, crackling with energy. Soon, the Clarity atrophies to a dissembling close. Hypnotic bass and an exquisitely abrasive solo highlight this performance as slow cycling riffs overwhelm and overcome the crowd as swirling tone haunts a labyrinth of explorative passages that transport the listener through the Clarity's haze-shrouded vistas. Organ provides a brief 2001-esque interlude to open the next song, Marijuana's theme. Rumbling from the stage with a distinct bass-driven warble leading the way, Cisneros' soothing drone offers a guiding voice throughout as Pike's throttling guitar swaddles the listener in lava-thick waves of distorted bliss. Cisneros' low end maintains the bass transmutation with shamanic precision, rising from Marijuana's theme's smoke-shrouded runs to offer an elastic embrace, while Jason Reeder's masterful rhythm keeps exquisite time throughout the song's hypnotic journey. A narrative solo from Brother Pike marks the song's final half before shifting sonic gears into the next song. The Botanist, from 2018's monumental return album, The Sciences, slowly pours from the stage with a crushing doom weight. The band opens the song with earth-shearing heft before giving way to a slow-burning blues tempest to run out this solitary instrumental number. Roaring guitar runs counter a simmering rhythm from Cisneros and Reeder as The Botanist squalls and screams throughout. An undercurrent of volatility accentuates The Botanist as Brother Matt's feral guitar howls above the methodical rhythmic patience of brothers Cisneros and Reeder. As The Botanist crawls to a close, the singular ambling lurch of Dragonaut sidles forth. Sleep's most widely known song, Dragonaut, meets with crowd approval as it works its molasses-paced charms with extra viscous results. Suspending riffs in the air with an almost anti-gravity pull, the band churns slowly through the song's first half. A foot-stomping pick-me-up hastens the buoyant crawl as Dragonaut rebounds across the venue like an antediluvian leviathan crawling forth from its ancient slumber. A petulant solo from Brother Pike soon issues forth, deploying a riotous squall that tears a hole right through the second half of this classic song. In a disassembling close, the band take their leave one at a time. Within a blur of feedback, distortion, and lingering smoke, Matt Pike departs first, before Jason Reeder takes his leave next. Remaining behind, Al Cisneros utilizes his bass to warp time and space one final time to bring the song to a satisfying close. Saying goodnight, Brother Al departs the stage, leaving the crowd in a clouded haze of feedback and smoke. Closing out a triumphant year, Sleep finished 2018 with a smoke and feedback-drenched run across the United States. Cultivating a large crowd in the Northside Stage AE, brothers Cisneros, Pike, and Reeder guide the Pittsburgh faithful on a sweeping sonic journey through haze-shrouded mystery, interplanetary expansion, and interpersonal perception. With their critically acclaimed return album The Sciences dominating the setlist, a few classic strains still weave their way into the night's sonic trip. Leagues Beneath crushes with its gravitational pull to open the show before dissipating into a psychedelic haze. A titanic 22-minute excursion into the band's album-length magnum opus Dope Smoker enjoins a rapt response from the assembled faithful. Marching forth at an unrushed pace, Dope Smoker overpowers the senses with lumbering riffs, roiling the air, and Brother Cisneros intoning the stoner rites with his spellbinding rasp. A primitive doom heft delves into the blues root of all that is heavy, as Sleep's classic toke Holy Mountain follows the epic sweep of Dope Smoker. Slyly rumbling from the stage, Holy Mountain explores the more expansive, blues-based moments cultivated on Black Sabbath's groundbreaking debut LP while maintaining a slow and steady grind that captures the senses. 2014's The Clarity follows, churning molten riffs slowly ebb on Sleep's 2014 return single, their first new song since the band's dissolution in 1998. The Clarity flows forth, accentuated by an electrifying solo from Brother Pike before drifting to a close in a labyrinthine haze. Jason Reeder's carbonite-shrouded drums maintain the molasses pace on 2018's Marijuana's theme. With a bass-led warble sparking the session, Matt Pike's dense guitar envelops the crowd in waves of distorted rapture on this pliable number. Next, The Botanist, also from 2018's The Sciences, slowly overwhelms from the stage. Rolling to a ponderous pace, this tectonic shifting track moves into a low and slow blues tempest, highlighted by the contrast between a shimmering rhythm set forth by brothers Cisneros and Reeder and Brother Pike's fierce guitar roar. With a deft and cold-blooded lurch, Sleep launch into their final song. As the viscous buoyancy of 1992's Dragonaut stumbles into the ether, Sleep drag the song through an anti-gravity pull before gaining a scintilla of momentum that supports an irascible solo that cleaves the song's back half with frenetic power. A disassembling close slowly draws the night to an end, leaving Al Cisneros to bid the audience a fond farewell before taking his leave. An influx of fresh air routs the lingering stoner fog as the staggering masses pour into the Pittsburgh streets, consciousness both expanded and flattened under the hypnotizing bludgeon of the mind-altering psychosonic emanations of the stoner doom legend Sleep.